Breaking news, Gennady Golovkin has been stripped of his IBF World Middleweight title for failing to face his mandatory challenger, Sergey Derevnyachenko. That's my best attempt at pronouncing his surname. And everybody knows, if you don't know, now you know, everybody knows the IBF are sticklers when it comes to mandatories. They want you to face your mandatory and they're not pussyfooting around. The IBF have been this way for many, many years now. So I don't have any problem with them stripping Gennady Golovkin. They're supposed to strip him. His mandatory's been waiting there, wanting his crack. And the IBF have said, if you ain't going to face him, we're going to take the title from you. And the next available contender below Derevnyachenko, he's going to fight him for the vacant belt instead. I respect the IBF for doing these things, for being strict about enforcing their mandatories. It's well known that this is how they behave. So Golovkin must have known this was coming. And we have now seen, effectively, Gennady Golovkin's dream of becoming undisputed middleweight champion go up in smoke. Because he doesn't have the WBO belt. Now he doesn't have the IBF belt. He only holds the WBC and the WBA. I mean, we don't count the IBO. So he's only got 2 belts now, and the other 2 are not with him. At 30, what is he, 36 now, Golovkin? At 36, is he really going to be able to chase down all the other belts? How long's that going to take him? I don't think he'll be able to do it. I don't think he'll be able to become undisputed. I think Terence Crawford is his, claim to being the last undisputed champion in boxing is going to stand for a little while longer until Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight, assuming neither one of them loses before that fight happens. So, Terence Crawford is still the man. Golovkin, unfortunately, the way things have panned out, he hasn't become undisputed champion. Maybe he's kicking himself. If he really wanted to become undisputed, because he said that's what his goal was. That was his main goal, to become undisputed champion. And if that really was his goal, then he wouldn't have been so keen on facing Canelo. You see, some people are saying that Golovkin don't care about the money and this, that, and the other. I never believed that. Because he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders in Kazakhstan, but instead of doing that, and I believe that was last year, he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders in Kazakhstan for, all the belts. But he turned down the opportunity to become undisputed champion to take on Canelo, a man who didn't have a belt. Maybe a man who was supposedly lineal middleweight champion, but he didn't have a belt. So how much did he really want to be undisputed? Which mattered to him more, being undisputed or the money? The money mattered to him more. And the money matters to him more even now than being undisputed. So I've never bought this idea that he's all about principles and all this kind of stuff that Abel Sanchez comes out with. It's all BS. Abel Sanchez clearly is a good trainer, but he talks a lot of rubbish a lot of the time too. When it comes to his own fighter especially, he talks a whole heap of rubbish. Abel Sanchez. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Triple G being stripped to the IBF belt, and I really have to shake my head at anybody who looks at this and acts like this is unfair. It's not unfair. It's not unfair at all. The IBF are strict when it comes to mandatories. You don't face your mandatory, they'll strip you. Simple. Yeah? I'll be upset when I see the IBF not being consistent in terms of people not facing their mandatories. That's when I'll get upset. But for the most part, the IBF have been very consistent with enforcing mandatories and forcing people to fight. So, yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. It's fair as far as I'm concerned. But let me know how you feel. It's happening. I'm out.